Good morning, students. Today our topic is Python pandas, and in this lecture we are going to discuss about sorting. So let's start. Sorting refers to the arranging values in a particular order. The value can be sorted on the basis of a specific column, or columns can be ascending or descending order. So pandas makes available short underscore values functions for this purpose, and which can be used as per the following syntax. So this is the syntax of the sorting. First of all, Dataframe dot short values. Then these are the parameters by axis is equal to 0 by default, ascending is equal to true by default, in place is equal to false by default. Kind of sorting is quick sort. Quick sort is one of the most popular type of sorting in which different elements are sorted. Then any underscore position is by default last. So these are the parameters. So let us take them one by one. First of all, by, and as you can see here, by str or list of str, name or list of names to sort by. So if axis is equal to 0, the index then by may contain index label or column labels, and if x is equal to 1 or columns, then may contain columns label or index labels. X is equal to 0 or index 1 or columns, default 0, x is to be sorted, ascending order, by default it is 2, in place default is false. If true, performs operation in place. It means your original list will be changed, your original data will be changed. And then any positions, we know that some NaN values are also there, means not a number. So by default it is last, they appear in the last position, but if you just put it at the first, then they appear in the first position. So these are the some parameters value for sorting function. So most of the time we use just only by, and if we want to sort values on different columns, then we use x is equal to 1. So in by we just write a list of string, name of the list of the name to sort by. So this is our example here. You can see here short value. So short underscore value is the name of the function. So first of all, if you want to sort a data frame, there is a data frame given as df1. Okay, df1 is the name of the data frame. So if you want to just sort this, so just write df1 and then put dot operator and then name of the function. Name of the function in this case is short underscore values, and then within the parentheses you can write column name. So here you want to, this is the value of the by, here by is a parameter. So country is the name of the column. So according to the country, data will be sorted, and by default, as we know that data will be sorted in ascending order. So data will be sorted in, as we can see here that we can found data in ascending order. First of all, Brazil is there, and then Japan, and then UK, and then USA is at last position. So data will be sorted in ascending order. So you can find out, you can give at least one value within the parameter of y. So here you can easily see that. So in this case we find the list according to country. So data will be sorted in ascending order. You can easily see here. Then this is our second example. In this you can easily see that data is sorted according to tutor. So data will be sorted according to tutor. You can easily see here Anusha comes first, then after Gurjot, and then after Jacob, and then after Tahira, then Venkat. So data will be sorted according to tutor. So whatever be the value given within parentheses, is considered as a first parameter value. So according to that, data will be sorted in short underscore values function. So first of all, just put the name of the data frame. In this case, the name of the data frame is df1. Then after, put dot operator, and then name of the function. Name of the function for sorting is short underscore values, and then within bracket at least you have to define the column name, and in this case then the column name is tutor here, so data will be sorted according to tutor column name. Now I think your concept is very much clear. Next, you can easily see here, this is now second question which is raising on mind, that is this possible that we can sort a data using two different columns? Answer, yes, you can do this. Also, for this purpose you have to do only one thing. Just write two columns names within parenthesis sign and make them as a list. So you can easily see here that two columns names are here, country and tutor. You can easily see here country and tutor. So first of all, data will be sorted according to the country column name, and if it is found that country name is same for two records, then data will be sorted according to tutor. So that is the example of value sorted country wise and within the country tutor wise. We can say that value sorted country wise first of all, and within country tutor wise. Okay, now you can easily see here, that is the output. Here you can easily see that Brazil. Okay, you can easily see that Brazil. So first of all, you can easily see that Brazil is the name of the country, and then tutor name is Jacob, and Jacob, Tahira and Venkat. So Jacob comes first, then after Tahira, and then after Venkat, because within country we can also sort the data according to tutor wise. So that is an example. Next, you can easily see here, if you just reverse this process and just write tutor comma country, then first of all data will be sorted according to the tutor, and then within the tutor country wise. So you can easily see here tutor name is Anusha, then Gurjot, you can easily see here on screen, and then Jacob. So Anusha comes first, then after Gurjot, and then after Jacob, and among different records of Anusha, Brazil comes first, then Japan, then the UK. It means data will be sorted country wise here. Okay, so that is the example that how to sort a data using two different columns names. So the concept is very simple. First of all, just sort the data according to the first column name. If first column name is same, then second column name plays its role, and data will be sorted according to second column name. And this is our third example here. You can easily see here. Okay. Yes, this is the third example here. Now, what will happens if we just write ascending is equal to false? By default, as we know that ascending is equal to true, it means data will be sorted in ascending order. But if you just want to find out the data in descending order, then you just give the value of parameter value ascending is equal to false. So data will be in just descending order. You can easily see here that is the same example as that of the previous one, but only the one difference is there. Here just we write ascending is equal to false. So what happens here, that data will be found in ascending order, descending order, because ascending is equal to false. By default, ascending is equal to true. So you can easily see that Venkat comes first, then Tahira, and then Jacob, and after that Gurjot, and at last Anusha. That means data is sorted in descending order. Also, first of all, data will be sorted tutor wise and then after country wise. So USA comes first, then Brazil. USA comes first and then Brazil in case of Venkat. In case of Tahira, you can easily see that USA comes first, then after Japan, and then Brazil. In case of Jacob also, first of all USA comes first, then UK, then Brazil. So we can say that it is an example where data is sorted using two different columns names. So first of all, data will be sorted according to first column name, and then if it is found that value regarding to the first column name are found to be same, then data will be sorted according to the second column name. And if you want to find out the data in descending order, then just give the value ascending is equal to false. Then in that case, data will be sorted in descending order. Okay. There is another function, so that is all about the sorting. Now there is another function that is called the MAD function. MAD means mean absolute deviation. You also, I think all of you are aware of the concept of mean absolute deviation. So there is a function named MAD function which perform the mean absolute deviations. First of all, we just find out the mean of different values, then we calculate the difference of that mean to each and every value. That is called the mean absolute deviation. So the mean absolute deviation function is used to calculate the mean absolute deviation of the value for the requested access, and the mean absolute deviation is a set of data for average data frame between each data and the mean. So you can meet as per the following syntax. You can easily see here. So there are two parameters for this. First of all, axis. To find out the mean axis deviation, you just write name of the data frame first, then after put a dot operator, then name the function. Name of the function is MAD in this case, and there are two parameters in this, axis and skipna. Axis is equal to none, by default it is 0, skipna is equal to none. So axis index is 0, column 1 default is 0, skipna boolean default true, exclude any null values. If an entire rows or columns NA, the result will be NA. Okay, so let us take an example first. You can easily see here that SL underscore DF is a data frame in which there are 4 columns 2016, 17, 18 and 19, and there are 4 rows also, QTR1, QTR2, QTR3 and QTR4. For these 4 rows there are different set of data here. So consider the same data frame SL underscore DF given on the right, with which you performed maze statistical and aggregate functions. So we will work with the same data frame in this section too. Okay, so let us perform. This is self underscore df, this is our data frame, sorry, and then here that is an example. ma add function, calculate along axis 0. So if you just give sal underscore df, you just pass mad. Mad is the name of the function, and we pass no parameter value inside it, so default value will be taken, and it means that it calculate mean absolute deviation along axis 0, and you can easily see that for 2016 mean absolute deviation is 6062.5, for 2007 6250, and 2018 2500, and 2019 it is 0. Now look at the data frame first, and you can easily see that 2016, 2017, 2018 and 2019. You can easily see that. Okay, and then if you want to find out the mean absolute deviation along axis 1, so just you have to write only one thing, just give axis is equal to 1 as a parameter value. So along QTR1, QTR2, QTR3, QTR4, all mean absolute deviation will be found. So first of all we have to find the deviation, and then we take mean value. That is why it is called the mean absolute deviation. So mean absolute deviation basically function used to calculate mean absolute deviation of the values for the request axis. So what is mean absolute deviation? The mean absolute deviation is a set of data, is the average distance between each data value and the mean. Always remember that mean absolute distance, MAD, is a set of data, is the average distance between each data value and the mean. So here you can calculate using MAD functions. So first of all just find out the mean, and then take deviation from these values. and then you can find out easily mean absolute deviation. So mean absolute deviation along axis 0 and along axis 1 is there, are there. Next, here is an example. How can you can find out the mean absolute deviation. For 2016, first of all, mean will be calculated. You can easily see here, mean will be calculated. Mean means there are 4 different values. So 4 different values are first of all added and divided by 4. You can easily see here that 46,625 is the answer, is the mean. And if you find out the mean absolute deviation, then subtract each value from 46,625. You get a value after that, and that value are added to each other and finally divided by 4. So you get the mean absolute deviation in that case. So logic is very simple. First of all, if you want to find out the mean absolute deviation, then take the mean first, and then take the deviation, and then whatever are the deviation, take the mean of that deviation also. So that is the mean absolute deviation. So along x-axis, along row, you can give x is equal to 0. By default it is x is 0, x is equal to 0. And if you find out along column wise, then you can write it as x is equal to 1. Next is standard deviation. So for this purpose, standard deviation, there is a function named std. So std is a function calculate the standard deviation of a given set of numbers, standard deviation of data frame, standard deviation of the column, and standard deviation of the rows. So there is a data frame here. You can easily see here that is a data frame here, SAL_DF. Okay, 2016, 17, 18, 19. These are the name of the columns. Q2R1, Q2R2, Q2R3, Q2R4. These are the name of the rows, and there is a data regarding to this data frame, and we have to calculate standard deviation. For this purpose, you have to do only one thing. Just write a std function. So first of all, give the name of the data frame first. That is in this case is SAL_DF. Then put dot operator sign and then std, which is the name of the function in that case. So SAL_DF then dot std will calculate the standard deviation along each column, and if nothing is found, then NN will be there. In this case of 2019, you can easily see here. And if you find out along column wise, then you have to put x is equal to 1 as a parameter value. So you can easily see here SAL_DF std x is equal to 1, and different values along column wise are there: Q2R1, Q2R2, Q2R3, Q2R4. So this is the standard deviation along column. Okay. Now this is the formula of this is the function to calculate standard deviation. Now there is a one question which is raised in our mind, that how we can calculate standard deviation in mathematics. In programming, you can easily find out the standard deviation using the formula std. So how can you calculate standard deviation, or what is the formula of standard deviation, and how we can calculate standard deviation for different types of values. So first of all, standard deviation is a measure how spread out numbers are, and the symbol of the standard deviation is the Greek letter sigma. You can easily see that this is the Greek letter sigma that represent the standard deviation, and the formula is very simple and easy. It is the square root of the variance. So first of all, you have to calculate the variance. After then, you can calculate the standard deviation only. So first of all, variance should be calculated on, only after that you can calculate standard deviation by taking the square root of the variance. So now the question is, what is the variance? Okay, so that is the formula of the variance: the average of the squared difference of mean, the average of squared differences of differences from the mean. Okay, the average of the squared differences from the mean is called the variance. So how can we calculate variance? So first of all, work out on the mean, the simple average of the numbers. So take the mean first of all numbers. Then for each number, subtract the mean and square the result. Subtract the mean and square the result. Okay. Then work out the average of those square difference. Then that is called the variance. So let us take an example first. You can easily see here. There is a small example here. There are different types of dogs here, and they have different height. You can easily see here, and height is considered in millimeters here. So the height at the shoulders are 600 millimeters, 470 millimeter, 170 millimeter, 430 millimeter, and 300 millimeters. So if we want to find out the standard deviation or variance, so we have to calculate all these things. First of all, if you want to find out the standard deviation, we just calculate the mean, and then we have to calculate variance, and then after only we are capable to find out the standard deviations. So first of all, take the mean of all these 5 values. Okay, now you can easily see here, so mean is 600. Add all these 5 values, 600 plus 470 plus 170 plus 430 plus 300, and these are 5 values. So take the sum of all these values first, and divide by the total number of divide by the total number, and total number is 5 here. So total 5 dogs are here, so we divide the sum by 5, and it is sum is 1970 divided by 5. So we can calculate easily the mean. So first of all, mean will be calculated, and mean will be here. I think it is a misprint here. So you can calculate the mean by dividing 1970 by 5. Okay, so now mean is, I think, 394 millimeter. 394 millimeter is the mean, but we have to calculate the standard deviation, and till now we just calculated the mean value only. So if you want to find out the standard deviation, first of all mean will be calculated, and mean is here 394, and after that variance should be calculated. For variance, variance is nothing but only the square of standard deviation. So if we just find out the variance, then take the square root of the variance, we easily calculate the standard deviation. So to calculate the variance, you can easily see that these are the variance is nothing but only the difference. Take the difference first, difference from mean, subtract each value from mean, and then take the square. And in this case you can easily see that first value is 206, so second value is 76, third value is minus 224, third value is 36, and fourth value is minus 94. And then square all these values, and take the average of these values. You can find out the variance. Okay, so different values are here. You can see that variance is sigma square, so different values are here. And after taking the square of sum of square of these values, then we divide it by 5, means taking the mean of that values, and the answer is 21,704. That is called the variance. And to calculate the standard deviation, you just take the square root of the deviation, square root of the variance. Then in this case it is 147.32. in round figure it is calculated as 147 millimeter. So that is the mean. Now let us take a quick revision of all this concept we learn in this lecture. First of all, sorting. For sorting, there is a function named sort underscore values, and we have to give different parameters values here, and which is essential parameter is the name of the column, which is represented by here. By default x is equal to 0. By default data will be sorted in ascending order, and in place is found to be, by default is found to be false, and if it true, that it perform the operations in place, it means your original data will be changed. And any positions is by default last, it means all any n values will appear in last. But if you want to if you want to show this value in data frame first, then just put the value any underscore position is equal to first. And this is a first example of a short underscore value in which data is sorted according to the country wise, and then theta wise, then country and theta wise. If two columns are given, then first of all data will be sorted according to the first column, and then after, if value is found to be same for first column, then data will be sorted according to the second column. And here by default data will be found in ascending order, and if you just give ascending is equal to false, then data will be sorted in descending order. Mean absolute deviation, you can find out mean absolute deviation by MEAD function, and by default x is equal to none. So basically mean absolute deviation, you have to, if you want to find out the mean absolute deviation, so take the mean first of all values, and then find out the deviation, and then find out again the mean of that values. You can easily calculate mean standard deviations. For that purpose MEAD function is used. You can easily see that, see here SL underscore df is a data frame, and if you want to find out mean standard deviation here, this is the data frame, original data frame here. So for that purpose MEAD function is here, and by default x is equal to 0, so it will calculate mean standard deviation along x is equal to 0. And if you just give a SL underscore df MEAD x is equal to 1, then data will be sorted along x is equal to 1. And then SL underscore df is there. Here's the example of how to find out the mean standard deviation, mean absolute deviation, MED. Take the average of all values, means first of all find out the mean, and then for calculate mean absolute deviation, just subtract the mean, just subtract the each and every value from mean and take the sum and divide it by number of values, means take the mean. That is called the mean absolute deviation. And next is standard deviation. To calculate standard deviation, STD function is here. Standard deviation is nothing but only the square root of the variance. So this is the data frame, and to find out the standard deviation, you just use STD function. First of all, put the name of the data frame first, that is SL underscore df in this case, and then put dot operator and then name of the standard deviation here. By default it is along axis axis 0, and if you want to find out along axis 1, then you can use it as x is equal to 1 here. You can see here, this is the standard deviation along axis is equal to 1. And then this is some numerical part regarding the standard deviation, which shows how you can calculate standard deviation variance in mathematics. So first of all, there is a relationship between variance and the standard deviation. Standard deviation is nothing but only the square root of the variance. So it is represented, standard deviation always represented by a Greek letter sigma. Okay, so first of all you have to find the mean, and then for each number subtract the mean and square the result. The square differences is there, and then after work out on the average of these square differences. So this is an example where first of all you have to find out the mean, and then after the square difference is there, variance is there, and after the calculation of the variance, you can easily calculate standard deviation by calculating the square root of the standard deviation. So this is the video regarding to this calculation of the standard deviation, MED function, mean and absolute deviation, and short functions, short underscore values function, by which we can easily sort different values in a data frames. So in our next lecture we will discuss some more functions regarding to Python pandas data frame. So I hope you like this video. Thanks for watching this video.